Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. I am Manzoor al-Haq, former president of the club, and today's moderator of this event, where we have main speaker is Dr. Towfiq-e-Elahi Chowdhury, who is advisor to the Prime Minister of Bangladesh for power, energy, and mineral resources. And we have also another speaker today, who is the Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce of Government of Bangladesh. And today, right now, there's a big delegation of Bangladesh visiting Japan. And delegation's main purpose is to attract Japanese investment, which is very important for Bangladesh. And Bangladesh is strategically located in a situation where it's within the proximity of China, bordering India, and also Myanmar, which is attracting not only investment, a lot of attention of different countries and regional powers. So from that angle, so Bangladesh importance they are going to highlight. And Japan is a very important country for Bangladesh. And both of our speakers today will focus on that. And delegation is headed by Dr. Towfiq-e-Elahi Chowdhury, who joined East Pakistan civil servant and fought our liberation award as a gallant freedom fighter. He was awarded Medal of Bravery. Is the second grade of Medal of Bravery, third grade of Medal of Bravery, and also later continued his government service and raised up to the secretary, and now he's advisor to the Prime Minister on this power, energy, and mineral resources. He will speak on the investment situation of Bangladesh, what is happening right now, and why Bangladesh is attracting investment. And both of our and Mr. Commerce Secretary will also focus on the scope we are opening up and why Bangladesh is now in a better position to attract Japanese investment. And also some other political issues will come up in the Q&A part and others. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our guest speakers today. Would you like to use podium or sitting?
Would it all right? Proper?
Yes, whatever you.
I'll try to sit.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Is on? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Do I see some ladies here? Yes, I see that. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here this afternoon, and I feel honored to be invited to share some of our thoughts with you in this Foreign Journalist Club, Foreign Correspondents Club. You are very informed people, so I dare not say much because chances of not being able to be correct in front of journalists is always there. But having said that, let me give you a bit of an idea of the story of Bangladesh today, or slightly going back in the past. As you know, Bangladesh is a land where the civilization goes back 3 millenniums at least. There are relics of Buddhist university dating back to 2,300 years during the time of Maurya Empire, Ashoka. So we combine a civilization of diversity dating back many millenniums. This country was born in 71 after a bloody war against Pakistan. That's a long story. But then the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, led us during the war, and I had this opportunity to be a small foot soldier in that operation. Bangladesh was built as a basket case by Henry Kissinger because Pakistan was then, United States was then busy getting access to China through India-Pakistan intermediation. And they felt insulted that we were a bit of a thorn on the sides. But then we achieved our independence, and that level we carried for quite some time. The country was devastated. From ashes we had to rebuild our country. Today we are a population of 160 million, 30 million more than Japan. But our size, you are 2.5 times size of Bangladesh. So you can imagine, state of Wisconsin, if you had all the population of United States, would be as dense or even maybe little less than Bangladesh. But then, we made progress, and in recent years, under the leadership of our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, we made momentous changes. That is the story I want to tell you. During the last decade or so, Bangladesh has been growing steadily, around 6%. This year, we crossed to 7% growth rate, GDP growth rate. But this, as you know, against the recession in international, in the Western countries, you are also a victim of that recession. But through this stormy time, we made progress. We are now having 7% growth rate. Our inflation is declining from double digit to single digit. Our reserves have been increasing to 7 months of import bill. And more importantly, our development has been such that you don't need dollars or yen. You buy food, buy healthcare, and our achievement in terms of poverty reduction, in terms of women's education, empowerment, reduction of infant mortality, child mortality, maternal mortality, on all those indices, we are ahead of countries who have double our per capita income. So our story is a story of an outlier. I feel humbled to say that we have beat all our peers in this process. And now, the Bangladesh is, I think, to carry a very old analogy of Rostow, we used to think of economy as a takeoff, was a buzzword earlier in economics. We are in a stage of takeoff. Why we say that this steady economic growth, and now it's accelerating with improved overall sharing, overall benefits to society. We are poised. 60% of our population is below the age of 25. I guess about 23% of your population is below the age of 25 in Japan. We're just the reverse. So here is a great complementary in our age structure, which can be harnessed for mutual benefit. We used to, we had even famine in Bangladesh back in 70s. Population doubled, but our food production has grown 3 times. Now we are on the verge of exporting food. The story sounds very unusual, but I must say it is an unusual story. That is why you have come to Japan. It's a country, the land of rising sun. We have high regard for you. You have built this country from ashes again of Second World War. Such a wonderful country, wonderful people. You lent all your support to us. So we have come here to tell our story and discover investments and cooperation which will mutually benefit each other. But I must say that the government of Japan has been paying increasing interest and have been, the largest bilateral donor to Bangladesh. A single project that's being developed now in Bangladesh, which will ultimately involve possibly $8 billion. Matarbari coal-fired power plant with a port and a coal handling facility is the largest single investment by any donor in Bangladesh. This gives us an assurance that the government of Japan is keen to help us, and I'm sure, as we talk, we would like to integrate with Japanese supply chain. Things you produce in different countries, you're welcome to produce in Bangladesh. Be it automobile supply chain, be it electronic supply chain, whatever. As I said, we have a young population, and our literacy rate is on the rise. We produce 10,000 engineers every year, maybe 100,000 technicians every year. So these are large, productive population. And we are pressed against time. So I see creativity, innovation amongst our younger generation, which we want to harness, and I would suggest you also. Simple example, Bangladesh has the largest solar home system in the world. The solar home where, you put some panel up and battery. 4 million households have solar home system in Bangladesh, although solar is expensive. But through financial and other engineering, it has been made affordable. We have more solar home system in Bangladesh than the rest of the world put together. So these are examples of innovation that we are making, because there is no other way for us. We have internet kiosks, which we call digital center, in villages. 5,000 of them are in villages. And young men and women, professionals, they are the sponsor of these centers. They are now growing into flourishing business centers, starting from allowing village people to talk on Skype with people, and down to paying their bills, but interacting among them through blogs and all, and sharing agriculture and other experiences among themselves. Even women in villages are now subcontracting through internet, working as freelancers. We're designing webs in villages. And these kiosks, for example, are turning into hub of ICT activities in rural areas. This we never thought of, but our Prime Minister, when she took over this first term of this 2009, she put up an image of digital Bangladesh. To start with, it was the butt of all jokes, because people say, what about digital Bangladesh? What is she meaning? Now today it is not only a reality, it's going viral. The system is going viral. We want to achieve middle income by 2021, and we want to be a developed country by 2041. But our idea of middle income and development is slightly different from the rest of the world. We would like to be a society who's living in peace with itself and with its neighbors, a society where it is shared prosperity. So it's not unbridled market that we are talking about. The unbridled market has seen its collapse in Wall Street. $30 trillion of wealth have been blown away in a matter of months. We want to have a society where we'll share our prosperity, we'll live peacefully. That is why, although the developing countries have a lot of problems with peace, security, in a relative sense, Bangladesh is a kind of a peaceful island in that part of the world. We are commonly, people talk about, I don't really like the term very much, inclusive. It conveys a bit of condescending attitude. We are a democracy where people can talk. We have God knows how many newspapers. He would be able to mention that. 4,000 newspapers. The media is there. Electronic media, I don't know how many. 40 media.
10 are news channels.
10 are news channels. Can you imagine? So, democracy and democracy through media, transparency, accountability. There's there's no deficit from that point of view. So our team has wide range of membership. We have officials like our Commerce Secretary and other officials. We have business delegates here, members here. Then we have business people from financial sectors here. We want to interact and try identify. We have some areas we have put forward. As I said, healthcare sector, ICT, information technology sector, or in more general public-private partnership where billions of dollars of projects are being designed, energy and power sector, shipbuilding, automobile, light engineering, you name anything. We are ready to pick anything. If you, it's just an illustration of our eagerness. But we have found a lot of interest from Japanese investors. In Osaka, some of the Japanese investors have presented their experience to others. I think that would speak more than anything else. But let me tell you, it's not, any developing country, if you want to work, there would be issues, challenges. And we are here to solve those challenges. I don't say that you walk and, it's all strewn with petals of gold, flowers. No, there will be thorns out there. But we are here, secretary is here, other people are here. We are here to hold a hand and make it easier for the Japanese investors. We have some of the very old Bangladeshi who married 4 decades ago, Mumtaz. He's also come, he wants to tell us how they, So it's a melange of people of different experience or different sectors. So I think with these few words, I'll have more question to talk about specific, I guess, during the Q&A session. Let me hand over this to our Secretary Commerce.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's a great privilege for me to be here in the Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. And also I'm privileged to have with me our veteran freedom fighter, decorated freedom fighter. And so he described a lot of things, and starting from our independence and our state philosophy also, which is inclusiveness. And our proclamation is like that we are going to establish a state to protect human dignity and to establish social justice. So inclusiveness was the core element of our state philosophy, and we started with that. Our government, led by our honorable leader, Sheikh Hasina, she has given us a vision, the vision to achieve a status of middle-income country by the year 2021. And we are working for that. And in the meantime, we could touch the target of 6% plus. All the past years you have heard already that this year we crossed 7%. And that is a great achievement for any LDC if you compare it with other countries. And we have a large middle class emerging, very large, 5 crore in 6 years' time. And this middle class, they are consumer. And by the year 2021, it will rise to the number of 90% plus, and that we are trying to achieve that target. And with the emergence of middle class, naturally, you'll get a huge consumer group. And along with this emerging middle class, we have started connectivity in the region, which was not there, and we have only 5% intra-trade in the South Asian region. And we have developed connectivity, and through this connectivity, you'll get an extended market. And with our demographic dividends, you have heard already from Sir that we are having a very big population, of the largest working population between the age of 15 to 55. And that is another strong area where you can really invest and you'll get the return. What we want to impress you that our country is ready for investment, ready for trade and commerce. And we have a very liberal trade policy, export policy, import policy. And also we are going to facilitate trade and commerce through our rules and regulations. And with that, investors will get a real good opportunity in our country. And Japan is our traditional friend from the very beginning, and throughout all the years since our independence, we are very close. And we hope that Japanese investors, businessmen can be joint I can be a very good partner of Bangladesh, and we are open. We are here to tell you our success story. You have already heard that our success story is incredible in some cases. We could enroll 100% children in the school, and we have our surplus in food, in vegetable, in fish. We are third and fourth largest producer. We need our agro-process industry to be financed by outside, because you have that excellence, technological excellence. So we want to combine Japan and Bangladesh in a way so that both the country will have a win-win situation, and we are here for that. And during question and answer session, we'll elaborate more. Thank you.
Definitely, I forgot to mention 2 more points.
Okay.
About which Commerce Secretary touched upon. You have or no, but let me reiterate the strategic location of Bangladesh, and I must thank my Japanese friends. They have coined it well. They call it Big B. Big B. Bay of Bengal Industrial Initiative. So, maps do speak something, This Bangladesh, and on the western side, India, on the east, Myanmar, and the rest of the ASEAN countries. And Bangladesh, as he said, we are opening up with India. Prime Minister Modi and I had occasions to, share platform. India is focused towards its northeastern states, 7 sisters they call them, and you cannot have access, an efficient access to the 7 sisters unless you go through Bangladesh, whether it's railway, whether it's road, whether it's electric connectivity. We are the gateway to the northern states of India, and Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina have agreed to exploit opportunities. We are talking about developing jointly hydropower in the northeastern states of India. And if they develop, they will drop some power to us and then take the rest towards the main Indian states on the western side. There are other initiatives, with Nepal and Bhutan, even Myanmar we are talking. There are so many platforms that have been created, the BIMSTEC platform, the BIBM, SAPTA, with eastern side, regional and sub-regional. A lot of platform for cooperation, and we are pushing it further. So, and I couldn't resist sharing one number, which I myself, sometime when I think of it, looks very staggering, Our Prime Minister said that all the kids must get free books. Because, as a kid, you get a new book, you smell it, you feel good, it's an occasion. So, distribution of free books among children, boys and girls, is a huge occasion in Bangladesh on one day. Over 300 million books are freely distributed among kids. 300 million books mobilized. So the kids can say, okay, here we start our new class. They smell the book, they feel great. And this is a question of developing that aspiration, the psyche in the nation. So this is one example, which I don't think many countries actually follow. Thank you very much. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Towfiq-e-Elahi Chowdhury, and thank you, distinguished speaker. So, floor is open to Q&A, and preference will go to working press, definitely. Please raise your hand, and Aaron, come forward, introduce yourself, and ask a question.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Aaron Chodek from Reuters. Could you give me more detail on what's happening with the coal plant project you were referring to? That's Matabari, I take it. I couldn't quite hear, sorry. Could you give us an update on how progress is going with that? Thank you.
Well, it's going on schedule. The basic plan is to have a port for coal handling port, and then to start with 1320 megawatt of power plant. So we need to develop the site first. That tender has already been awarded, so sites being developed. The other is the tender for main machineries, which will be floated very soon. So it's going on schedule. There are a lot of challenges there, because we have to take fill it up from the sea, and the sands are not of same quality. So there are engineering challenges, but I think we have solved them. And after that Matarbadi and its surrounding area will become a hub of 10,000 megawatt power plants. And that's just the power plant. But we hope to develop an industrial city, more like Singapore or even better than that, on the island, Moheskali Island, which is basically very sparsely populated, and it's only people makes salt out of sea water and do little shrimp cultivation, things like very sparsely. So the land is a huge problem for us, but this is an area, the island itself, which provides an opportunity to start greenfield operation and develop into. I'm sure our Japanese friends are also designing industrial estates, or even kind of a city around that Mathabadi project. So it's going on schedule.
Maybe on Matarbadi.
Nice.
Mathabadi very deep.
Yeah. Okay, Arun, any substitute question? Okay, Joel.
Joël Lejean from French television, BFM TV and RTL radio from France. India has FTA agreement. Bangladesh doesn't have yet so far agreement with Japan in terms of free trade. How when we talk about development, when we talk about image, and how to promote one's image in a country like Japan, is very complicated for the mechanism of making friends and getting new business relationship. I mean, wouldn't it be helpful for you to develop such agreement in the field of free trade with Japan, or is there a difference between India and other countries in the region? Thank you. My second question would be about, I'm from France. We've heard many problems you have with IS, Islamic State in Bangladesh. What do you do to deal with this? Thank you.
You'll answer. But before that, before you leave, can you tell us how to improve the image? You got some ideas yourself too?
Sorry?
You said improving image.
Yes, how do you do it?
I would like to hear your opinion. No, come on, you can't get it. Okay.
I have one answer.
Yeah, one.
My answer is telling the truth.
Tell the truth. Okay, good.
First question, actually FTA, we know that we are least developed countries and LDC, and under the WTO regime we have some facilities, and we are developing. Our per capita was 235 in 1971, and we are trying hard. So we are considering all the FTA because it's a real good tool in future, and we are not avoiding FTA, but we are exploring every possibilities of signing FTA with different countries nowadays. Thank you, sir. And for the second question, sir.
But before I go that, we have one television from Bangladesh, and they are streaming live in Dhaka. So we made some progress, I must say. Why don't you stand up, Babu, let the people see you. He's the television guy who's...
I'm the managing director of Ekasur Television. We have decided to televise the whole event live in Dhaka. We have a crew and our team is here to televise live.
And the difference is we have a young lady also. Is she here?
Yes, Tanya.
Tanya. Where is Tanya? Look at it. So we are bringing younger generation. I talked about young generation. Tanya, why don't you stand up? Let's see. Give her. These are new generation of Bangladeshi. On this IS issue, Bangladesh, we do not have any evidence to that effect. There have been stray incidents of violence, I would call them, which may be given any color. And given this proliferation of social media and all, which I am told the journalists don't think of it as a part of mainstream. So things come up in social media, pop up. These are basically law and order problem, but there are all kinds of, crazy guys in any country of 160 million who gets, some idea one way or the other. So I don't think we have presence of IS in Bangladesh. Any country of 160 million will have all kinds of crazy guys, small or big. But generally speaking, we are, in our psyche, we are a very eclectic society. That's why I mentioned that 2,300 years ago, Buddhism was there. And we live in peace and harmony. My mother was a devout Muslim, but Hindus could walk in the house, and we had no problem. And if I walked into a Hindu family, they think we made them unclean. So they will put some Ganges water. But that was our game. When I was a little boy, I'll go around again. And then she will sprinkle. These are kind of, ties we had, cultural ties, we live together. Times do change, but our, as I said, education of women, empowerment of women, these are the lasting tools against any radical ideas. So women are getting educated, they're getting empowered. And whoever wants to practice, so long you don't step into others, it's okay for us. Before I forget, Happy New Year to all of you. Today is Bangladeshi Poila Boishak.
Today is the New Year Day in Bangladesh. Bengali.
Compliment you on this issue.
Please.
The IS issue. Thank you for the question. My friend from France asked this question. France recently suffered a IS blow, so they will understand how the Islamic militants are spreading all over Europe and America. They have attacked already. The Bangladesh case is different. Here also, Bangladesh is a case you can take to the world. We have 160 million people. 90% of them Muslim. They are strong believer of religion. They are religious people, but none of them as a mainstream party, none of them. In mainstream, no militant people. Militant Islam is not there in Bangladesh. Some exported phenomena. What you were saying, IS is a propaganda on us. 160 million people, they are religious sympathizers. There are some dialectic response to the injustice of the West at some point, because some people believe that some injustice has been done on Muslim people. This is a personal belief. There are some dialectic responses, but I can clearly tell you, Bangladesh Islam is Sufi Islam, liberal Islam. The presence of IS and militant suicide bombers, killers are not available in Bangladesh. So there are some stray incidences, and there are some conspiracies also to find IS in Bangladesh and to attack on Bangladesh like Israel is doing on the things going on Syria or Iraq or Afghanistan. There could be a conspiracy, but trust me, there is no presence of IS in Bangladesh.
One other thing, today, as I said, New Year, it is celebrated by all shades of all people of all religions, all shades, all castes, and it has been growing in terms of festivity. It is now, this New Year is possibly the second biggest business operation also. The turnover in business, people buy saris, clothes, and give gifts to others, becoming a
1,700 crore in fashion.
So about close to $2 billion. $2 billion of additional business. And as he said, as the middle class grows, there will be more and more of this business. But there will be always, people try to spoil our homogeneity, spoil our peace, and we have to face them boldly. There is no room for any extremism in Bangladesh.
Floor is open again. Takeuchi-san, yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Takeuchi. I'm working for International Development Journal. It's a Japanese monthly magazine. And I'd like to ask you a geopolitical view on your country, and in particular, 2 years ago, Japanese Prime Minister Abe-san visited your country, and it symbolized the importance of Bangladesh itself in the Japanese diplomatic screen. And in terms of not only the scale of the market, but also the significance of geopolitical strategic position. And so now we know that in your country, sort of major countries, major donor countries, cooperation competition has been happening in your country, and so Japan support Matabari, and China try to support Sonadia, or India support other deep sea port construction. And so then how do you look at this situation in particular? So I think you keep balance well, but what is your idea for the future? How to utilize these major powers into your development policy? And the second question is about nuclear energy. What is your basic position of nuclear power development? Thank you very much.
Haven't you partly explained it? I think you gave our answer also.
No.
You said this.
How do you balance?
How do you balance?
So this balance, balance is a algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
You keep doing it as it rolls out. Events roll out. So there is no fixed strategy. But we want to be friends to all. We don't want to belong to any camp or anything. We have been always, as he was saying, on the frontier of subcontinent also. And we have our foreign policy is friendship to all, and we don't belong to any camp. We don't belong to any strategic alliance, military or other alliances. So long partnership serves mutual interest, so long it's not an attempt to influence or arm twist us, I think we're open to all friends. So it's a friendship, genuine friendship. We believe friendship can be genuine also. The world may be a bit complicated, but we want to make it simple. That and what was the other thing?
Nuclear energy.
Nuclear. But Japan is actually helping us on JICA to develop our energy master plan. As we said, we have some plans for 2020 as a kind of marker. Then we have plans for 2040 when we want to. So we will have to double our generation capacity every 10 years, is a ballpark figure. And then you have to have a mix of fuel, like we'll have some with coal. Let's say if 2021 we'll have 10,000 megawatt of coal, almost half. A third will come from gas, some from liquid, and then some will have connectivity with our neighbors. And we are building another 2,000 megawatt of nuclear power plant. That will be part of our energy mix. And it also helps us to understand nuclear for technology for other peaceful purposes. We want to initiate our scientists, our engineers to this new technology. The first nuclear power plant in Pakistan was to have been in Bangladesh, in a place called Rupur.
Experimental reactor.
No. The nuclear power plant.
Yes.
They put up a signboard, the kind of treachery they did,
50 years back.
and they set up the nuclear power plant instead in Karachi. And our scientists actually worked in Karachi nuclear power plant. And I am told Bangladeshi scientists, some of those who didn't have jobs here, helped set up the first nuclear power plant in South Korea. So we had a very earlier, we have Atomic Energy Research Council, which has been operating for almost half a century. So now we want to broaden our, and I'm told, someday there may be a nuclear technology which will be plug and play. These are being designed and tested, and I'm told they may get even licensed. Bill Gates is investing heavily in that project, where you'll have 100 or 200 megawatt of system, you plug and play, and there is no waste disposal. Run it for 50 years, and that is the tomb of that project. So nuclear is a area we need to diversify also. As Muzammel said, also we are trying to harness the renewable energy, whichever way, although it cannot be a mainstream energy source in the short run, at least on medium term, but we are also trying to do that. Some bankers are here. Would you like to make some comment about Bangladesh? How things are moving? Abrar.
Is the CEO of Stanchart?
These guys have the lens to see the country through financial lens, About projects and all, would you like to say something?
Thank you, sir. I think just to add what the Honorable Advisor has said, I'm Abrar Anwar, CEO of Standard Chartered Bank in Bangladesh, the oldest bank over there of British origin. Basically, what's been happening, we are seeing tremendous opportunity with the growth in the economy, and mainstream activities are hovering around the infrastructure development. Over the last few years, major investments have happened in infrastructure, and the pipeline is pretty good. So as a foreign investor, what we have seen, the investors have found a safe haven in Bangladesh in terms of investment and getting their returns out. What does an investor look at? Long-term sustainability, whether they will be able to make a decent return and be able to take it out. From that perspective, in the recent past, we have seen a lot of large investors, be it debt capital investors or equity investors, have invested, and they've been able to get decent return and take the money out. I think in terms of the fundamentals of the country, which provides a good opportunity with the population and having an opportunity for a big manufacturing base. So with infrastructure coming in, we see as a foreign bank over there, the growth opportunities are tremendous. So that's why Japan, who may be looking at alternative manufacturing base, can find Bangladesh as a very, very viable option. So that's why I think this linkage and this type of seminar and opportunities to talk about the potential is very important. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Floor is open again. A question from journalist. Meanwhile, I have one question before anyone asks. That Japan for long is definitely is a very important partner for Bangladesh. Japan was focusing on ODA, aid, and in investment, a bit slow. So how is the response now you are getting? If we compare with Chinese investment, how far Japanese is lagging, and what you are doing to attract Japan more?
Well, for good reason, I must say. The Japanese investor take little time. They make assessment because they take a very long-term position, and it's a quality investment. So I mean, individuals are different, I may jump and plunge into him, he may take little time, and someone may say, all right, I am not going there. So I think, this diversity of each business community but now, as I'm saying, I feel there is a wave that will follow of Japanese investment, because infrastructure, Japanese government is helping fund infrastructure. And then once the infrastructure is there, and as Abrar said, we have other incentives in place, fiscal, tax, other incentives in place, but you need to build that physical facility first. So infrastructure in terms of port, road, utility, power, and other connections. Once these are coming, and we are showing, trying to convince that they will be there. For example, we are setting up special economic zone, and Japanese are just about to select one of the special economic zone. So if we set up the special economic, which are so that would, they can then focus what facilities are there. Do I have electricity? Do I have roads there? Do I have security there? Can I move my goods out, in and out of that facility? So this we are addressing, and we have already started working on 11 special economic zone, and we would like to set up 100 of them. In the same way, we are setting up what is called high-tech park, where we are providing, whatever facility you need to put up a high-tech park. We have a lady would you please rise? She is the chief of the high-tech park, and we are making presentation on them. We have the private sector who are developing, economic zone. Would Mr. Khan set up? Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, sir.
Please. And tell us how you're going to get Japanese investors interested in your.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the floor. I'm the president of the Bangladesh-Japan Chamber of Commerce and president of the Employees Federation of Bangladesh. I think our advisor has given a very good macro view, and I think the government's policy of having 100 economic zones will accelerate Bangladesh's development quickly. I think the idea is to create nearly 10 million jobs in the next 5 years, and here we are hoping to upskill our workers, where foreign investors from Japan will be able to get skilled workers. So there is a skills development policy in place, and our Honorable Prime Minister is the chairman of the Skills Development Council. And here we feel there's a lot of relocation taking place. I think our Japanese friend has mentioned about the geopolitical situation. A lot of Japanese companies are relocating from Japan. Like, for example, Sir Toshiba has just recently opened an office in Bangladesh. They're looking at possibilities of investment not only in the power sector, but once these special economic zones come up, developed by Japan, we see a lot of interest from companies like Toray, which is the largest textile manufacturer. And we'd also like to invite component manufacturers so that we can enter the regional supply chains, as Japan is a predominant player in the ASEAN market. So the special economic zone, I think, will be an accelerator for Japan's economic development. And here, we must appreciate the role being played by JICA in developing the infrastructure facility and also financing some of the infrastructure. So we would welcome the large Japanese corporations, and here some of the large companies like Mitsui are also showing interest. So I feel the window is open before the other comes. I think Japan, with its historical partner of Bangladesh for the last 60 or 70 years, I think you should get the priority in developing these zones. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Among audience, we have former Japanese ambassador to Bangladesh, Mr. Matsushiro Horiguchi, and he's also president of Japan-Bangladesh Society. So do you have any comment or any question for Horiguchi-san? Yes, please.
I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very much encouraged by the series of that kind of occasions to project your image among Japanese possible investors. And we are fully aware of the very rapid progress in these years. And you mentioned that now 10 years, 6% growth rate is now 7%. It's very remarkable. And we do hope the full success, all the successes of your projects to attract more investment to your country. And at the same time, we are a bit afraid of the situation in your country, and the killing by the IS, the so-called IS, the Japanese national and the northern part. Because of that, while killing the Japanese government through conduct scale and raised the so-called risk degree. And many investors, potential investors, prevented from going there. And as a president of Japan Bangladesh Society, we issued a series of messages to the government to review the situations and improve the situations so that the momentum between the two countries is further promoted. So I support your efforts in Japan, and I do hope your success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can I make some comment on Japanese? He mentioned Japanese killing.
Thank you, Your Excellency. You are our best spokesperson, because you know us and you know Japan. So we look forward to you to promote and explain our position. To repeat again, this Japanese gentleman was a bit of a visionary. He was living in a remote village. And the probability of something happening in a remote village, of something unusual, that can happen to any person. It just unfortunately happens to be Japanese, but we feel sorry and we are taking all actions. And mind you, Excellency, we would ensure all your security. The Japanese investors, individual, their security is more important than even my security. We look at it that way. I think we are coming to a close. Afsar, would you like to make a pitch on public-private participation? 2 minutes.
Yes, please.
Hello, I'm Syed Afsar-Uddin. I'm the CEO of the PPP Authority. I've joined the office in 2012. The vision for Bangladesh is actually to not only live with the 6% excellent growth we've had and now 7%, but actually is to go much further, much beyond. Our target is to reach 8% growth. Now, to reach the target, we need to invest heavily in infrastructure. Our 5-year plan is that we want to invest roughly $12 billion in infrastructure over the next 5 years per year. And the way we want to do it is we want to work in partnership with the private sector. So through PPPs, through public-private partnership, we are inviting and working with private sector in order to invest in infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, we talk about roads, we talk about energy, we talk about power, we talk about economic zones, we talk about high-tech parks. So it's actually transforms across all different sectors. The Honorable Prime Minister's vision was to create a PPP program in Bangladesh that was of international standard. And that's what we are doing. For the last 4 years, we have built a program that is now becoming internationally recognized by all the major agencies: Asian Development Bank, World Bank, UNECE, UN ASCAP, and many other organizations have actually invited Bangladesh to showcase what we have done in the last 4 years and actually share our practice with other countries. Because we've gone from a pipeline of only 3 projects 4 years ago to a list of 43 projects valued at $14 billion just in 4 years. We have awarded contracts of $1.3 billion already, $1 billion in procurement, and a number of projects are coming. So we built a wonderful program, a credible program, and we are here to actually invite and work in partnership with the companies in Japan and take them to Bangladesh and showcase how we can work in partnership together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you particularly our guest speakers for a very illuminating speech. And it's our tradition to offer 1-year guest membership to head of the delegation. So I am on behalf of the club
Thank you.
offering you, please come back. You are now member of this club, Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. 1 year, and all of you are welcome. That is, though we are not offering everyone, but you are always welcome. Whenever you are in Japan, want to talk to media, talk to journalists, please come back. And thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you again. And we'll be seeing you again.
Without being a journalist to be in your club,
Yes.
I will be spoiling your purity.
No. Thank you very much. Thank you. Here
Thanks
we
a lot.
conclude today's press conference.
Do
Thank
come
you,
and
ladies
visit
and
us in
gentlemen.
Bangladesh and be our guest, always.
And also, Happy New Year, Bangladesh New Year.
Thank you.